Hey.
Hey, I love slide guitar.
Thank you. Me too.
It's all about playing, is it?
Yeah.
Very much. Okay, so you're on tour, of course, Rick Vito, with your own blues band?
Yes. We play.
Your own trio.
It's a trio.
Yeah.
I've actually got two guys that are great players from Germany with me this time.
Yeah.
In the past, I brought guys over from America, but I met these guys about a year and a half ago, and they played so well. And so we tried out a couple of gigs, and they just sounded great. So
okay, so you're half through?
Yes, we're half through this tour. Got about 5 more shows.
5 more shows in Germany.
Yes.
Okay, so watch out for the forthcoming gigs. Cool. Okay, of course you have been to Fleetwood Mac before. To John, you played with John Mayall.
Yes.
So you're a blues man, you're a guitar player, you're a singer, songwriter.
Exactly. Yeah, I've done it
Everything.
all. I've produced. I've done solo. I've done sideman. I've done group member.
Yeah.
Songwriting. Everything.
Very
That's
good.
what you do.
Yeah, okay. So what we heard before is the Supro-Amp you use at stage, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very small amp.
It's a very small amp, but it's got a really nice full sound. So you don't feel like you're playing through a small amp when you play this. This is called the Trem Verb. It's got one 10-inch speaker, 25 watts, great reverb and tremolo, and very simple. No gain controls, just one volume, one treble, one bass. So
the rest is about your fingers.
the rest is just about putting your heart and soul into it, and so it doesn't rely on a lot of gimmicks or anything like this. But
so what I like on the amp, it's a very small amp, but it's not about the speaker you're hearing, it's about the entire cabinet, the wood, and you hear everything. It's a big sound.
It is. It's really well designed, and I think Dave Coltai, who owns the company Supro, he took the original Supro idea and the tone, and he updated the features to make it a modern amp, but still retaining that vintage vibe and sound. So I've been playing the Supro's amps, the old ones, for 30-some years, because they sound so great recorded, and but usually they were pretty low volume, so you couldn't really use them except for very, very small clubs or things like this. But now with the new Supros, you can play anywhere with them, so it's really great.
Very big and very sweet. Yeah.
Exactly, sweet is the word.
Sweet.
It has tone.
So that could be the difference to a Fender or to a Vox amp. So I mean, you surely have played everything, yeah.
Yes.
So what would you say is the thing with Supro?
Well, Supro's always had its own sound. See, they were originally a bargain amplifier. So if you couldn't afford a Fender or a Gibson, you got a Supro.
I see.
And so where was Supro located? Chicago. Who played in Chicago? All the blues guys. So that's the sound, that's the sound that you hear on these old records, and that's what kind of sets it apart from, say, a Fender. Nobody realized that those cheaper components and it actually made a pretty cool sound in its own. So I have old Supro guitars and old Supro amps, but these new additions really are a nice kind of introduction into the modern world.
Okay, so you play slide guitar, of course. So what did you do there before? So do you have some chords or licks or some advices you can tell?
Well, basically, this here is my Reverend Rick Vito signature guitar, and so what we did was we modeled this pickup after the old Supro pickup, actually, and it's a single coil, not a humbucker, and we paired it with a P90. So I like that sound because it's not too bright, so you don't want too bright a sound when you're playing slide. And also, you need to raise your action up high.
Yeah.
Sure. Put thick strings on. I like thick strings. Some people like they don't need so much thick strings and high action, but I think that gets a better tone. And so I use a metal slide usually. Some people like glass, but for the tone, I like to.
What you would say is the difference between the glass slide and the metal slide?
Well, look at the steel guitar players. They play on their lap. What do they use? They don't use glass. They use metal, and it just has a good tone. It helps you to get a good vibrato. because it has some weight to it, you know.
So-
and I like this.
Sure, so it's all about tone.
Yeah, for me it is.
Yeah. I mean, I saw a video on YouTube, so you play guitar without a slide, of course,
Yes.
very much, and you have an insane vibrato.
Oh.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, it's really very important for me.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, I've been playing so long. I don't even, when people point out something about my playing, I have to really kind of think about it because it's second nature, as they say to me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Just because I've been doing it for so long and just kind of developed the way I developed.
Yeah, so it's all about sound.
Yeah.
Sounding sweet. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've always valued playing with feeling more than speed.
More than speed, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've always tell young guitar players, learn how to play good rhythm first.
Yeah.
Listen to the drummer, play along with the drummer, get your rhythm chops together.
That's the key, yeah.
And then when you start to play lead, don't play as much as you think you need to play. Cut it in half. Less is more, you know, so this has always been my philosophy. Now, I think people love to hear shredding. I think, you know, when you hear a guy who can really do this live, you know, people love it, and that's great too, but my approach is a little different.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this.
Mostly those guys don't have a good vibrato. I don't know.
A lot of them seem to bend the note past where they should. They, you know, instead of playing, they'll play, and they'll sound too much to me.
Yeah.
You know.
So let's hear something. It's so gorgeous. You're driving tears in my eyes. Very good, thank you.
Now, Peter Green wrote some pretty good songs, so I try to keep his tradition going.
Yeah. Okay, so you're from Italy. Have you been to Europe before? Sure, many times.
I was born. I have some Italian. My father's side was Italian, but I'm from Philadelphia in
Nashville,
U.S. And now I live in Nashville, Tennessee. So, what was the question?
Have you been to Europe before and to touring? Yeah.
Yes.
So what is different to Europe when you're on tour here? So what do you think?
Well, I think the European audience, certainly the German people that I play for, I think they appreciate American music and musicians in a different way than, say, if you go to your hometown and you play the same music. They might appreciate it, but you're not special there.
Yeah.
Come to Europe and you're special, and they appreciate you because you're different. And likewise, when the British musicians or, you know, any European group that's good comes over to the United States, we look at them the same way.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So again, you're on tour, so there are some dates left.
Yes,
So,
we'll be playing for one more week here in Germany and one date in Salzburg, Austria, and then I go home. I go to Hawaii 2 days after that to work with Mick Fleetwood and the Mick Fleetwood Blues Band, and then hopefully I get a little time off.
Okay. So, Rick Vito, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure.
And check out these Supro-Amps.
I still have to dry my tears. Yeah.
You'll be okay. Check out these Supro-Amps because I really do recommend. This is a great amp.